Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Boss Golfs. We're going to be going through a great trip I just took to Ireland. It was epic, just like the last, a little shorter, a little bit different of a journey. We're now going through more of the typical first trip to Ireland. My first trip was more of an epic adventure where I traversed a lot of terrain covering the east, the north, and the northwest of Ireland. And this time I took on the more popular and famed golf trip, which is the southwest of Ireland. It was quite a journey, shorter, more golf in a shorter period of time, but all the courses are epic. Beautiful links land all around Ireland, so it's hard to go wrong when you're going for links golf in Ireland. On this trip, I went to Doonbeg, Lahinch, Ballybunion, Dooks, Tralee, Waterville, and Old Head. This is an experience that I will remember forever. It is a trip that I highly recommend that all passionate golfers take. Is get yourself to Ireland and just immerse yourself in all that it has to offer. The very first course I went to, which was an hour away, which was Doonbeg, really a great introduction course to playing in Ireland. One of the benefits of it, it starts off kind of flat. While the dunes are large, the land is very easy to walk. Beautiful course, beautiful hotel and surroundings, very easy to access. Has a great range to actually warm up on, which is not typical of all the Ireland courses, is that sometimes they don't put a priority on the range. Clearly the range in the short game area was, so it also made it really great for a great start to a trip in Ireland. One of the best parts about starting at Doonbeg is it's just a fine course, a fine resort, great customer service throughout. I was really happy with how well they were attending to the service, but the course is second to none really in Ireland. Greg Norman design that was later updated by Martin Hawtrey, who actually did a lot of the work in the Southwest, updating courses similar to a Pat Ruddy, where if you want your course to be a little bit better, you go to a Martin Hawtrey in Ireland or to a Pat Ruddy, who are both legends on their own in Ireland. The course is magnificent. Seaside links course is what you would expect. Great terrain. Elevation changes really come into play later in the round, but you really have great dunescapes there. Fairly easy to walk. It is definitely a long walk out to a long walk in, so this is not the standard loop that you would expect with American courses. You're a little bit more exposed to the wind at Doonbeg. It felt like, compared to some of the other courses, you are not as well protected with the dunes, but very playable, very enjoyable. As you'll find when you come to Ireland, really the weather is in play on every course that you're at, but some just feel a little bit more exposed than others. I really enjoyed the closing stretch. You get some really beautiful seaside holes. It has a really nice finishing 18 right by the clubhouse. It's quite the experience. I was actually surprised at how great the layout was and how inspired it was. It's a great start or great ending to a trip, but I would highly recommend it for a start. Great way to introduce yourself into the dunes without getting too deep into something too difficult. The next course is Lahinch. Lahinch Golf Club is, if you're looking at this video, you probably already heard of it. It is a legend for a reason. It is a great course, fabulous design, has all the unique traits of unique routing and blind shots and hitting around a dune, over a dune that you would expect from true Irish links golf. I was actually surprised at how great it played out. I had played Lahinch a few times through virtual simulators. I just couldn't believe that it would hold up. I thought it was maybe more of a visual trick with the design of the game, but it is actually better and more immersive than what you would think. The design and what they ask of you on the course is sometimes you have to know exactly where to go. So Lahinch is definitely a course I would highly recommend using a caddy. Some courses are actually just in front of you. You may not need a caddy if you don't want to take one for the experience. But Lahinch is a course where you really want to have on-course knowledge. There's a good stretch of holes in probably the opening 9 or 10 holes where there's probably 4 or 5 legitimate blind shots that, if you aren't aware of where the proper landing zone, can lead to some difficulty. But it is an experience that cannot be missed. Lahinch is also designed by legends. So one of the benefits is it's a course that was originally laid out by old Tom Morris of St. Andrews fame and just golf fame. Alistair McKenzie, who also designed Augusta. And then once again, you'll hear this name throughout. Martin Hawtrey came in not too many years ago and did an update. The course plays fabulous. It plays fun. It's probably the most challenging course from this trip, but I also had a lot of fun, especially on the front 9 and then the closing stretch. I really enjoyed how engaging the course was. Ballybunion is a great experience from beginning to end. They just really get everything right. It's really almost as many of the courses when you get there, you'll find they're really built to serve their membership and also serve traveling visitors. Ballybunion, often ranked the #1 course in Ireland, does a fabulous job of greeting you, making you feel welcome, and getting out onto the course. The course is highly famed, and similar to what my experiences were with Roy coming down, I think that my expectations were grander than what they should have been. That is one thing, but I can't stress enough that Ballybunion is a can't miss course. It is fun, it is unique, it has those feelings of Lahinch, where you have very unique holes that you would never think anybody would build as they work around the dunes. And then you also have holes that are very playable, straightforward, so it makes it very enjoyable. You definitely want to find yourself really enjoying that experience. I don't think that you need a caddy for it, but I think that all golf experiences, especially in a place like Ireland or Scotland, the caddy makes the experience even better for you. Bunion also offered me something I never thought I would have, which is an opportunity to play with Tiger Woods. And while sure he was a couple of holes behind me and was completely unaware that I was on the course, I did get a chance to see him, as you see here with these drone shots, and it was an experience that I will always remember as the day I played with Tiger Woods in preparation for the 150th British Open. Dooks is just an amazing property. It's definitely going down as the hidden gem of this trip, similar to a Donegal in my last trip. It's in an enchanting location next to Dingle Bay, sitting on a peninsula that is framed by the McGillicuddy Reeks Mountains. The terrain is perfect. The views are just something that you'll hold dear through the entire round. One of the best parts about it is how inviting and welcoming the membership are at the course and how great the staff is. Very supportive, very happy to assist you in getting started. It's a great opportunity to support a local club that can use some outside tourist money, but I can't take away how great the golf actually is. I was actually a little upset and a little happy at the exact same time that the membership was so generous and letting me play through, because for Ireland, the idea of playing slow golf is just too upsetting. They were happy to let me play through. At the exact same time, I wanted to get more footage and more video of this great course. So while you may not be seeing everything here, it is a great course and a can't miss experience. I really enjoyed the experience and feel that it's one that shouldn't be missed. I actually might have skipped one of the bigger name courses for an opportunity to play Dukes, and we'll probably do that in the future. It is definitely a can't miss experience. Next up is Tralee, and this might be my biggest surprise. While I hear a lot of great things about Tralee in my research, I just didn't understand how great it was actually going to be. There's a famous quote that Arnold Palmer made where he says, "I designed the front nine and God designed the back nine." And my brain just couldn't quite conceive of how great the back nine would be for him to say that. I can't stress enough, this might be the finest back nine in all of Ireland that you get an opportunity to play. and slightly different than a Port Stewart, which has a phenomenal and is the best front nine I've ever played. It kind of meanders into a very tame, and even the last two holes, a little less uninspired design. Tralee is not that situation. The front nine is fully engaging and plays like a great seaside course, not really utilizing any dunes, but is a really fun course. I would at least say that I can visualize and clearly remember 5 or 6 of the front 9 holes is just something that I thought were special and fun and used the land very well. The back 9, especially once you get to 11, just dives deep into a beautiful, beautiful, huge dunescape with holes that you've seen for years and probably didn't know where it's from or were always wanting to play. And Tralee is just a truly special course. The staff there was exceedingly kind and helpful, and for somebody like myself who's probably the first person on the course after the grounds crew, I was surprised at how inviting and welcoming they were to me. The back 9 is also challenging. I think sometimes just looking at how impressive the land is, you'll see it's a little distracting how beautiful it is, but it actually plays difficult, requiring you to make really smart and strategic shots throughout your closing stretch. Tralee was much better than I would expect it, and is probably my top 3 courses from this trip. And I didn't expect that, and so I would definitely make sure that you find yourself to Tralee. It is an experience you won't forget. In addition to what has already been an amazing trip, I made a beautiful drive. And after a great trip last year, I didn't think Ireland would possibly have any more hidden passages that I would be traversing that would be just so great that I had to pull over and get the drone out and take some great pictures. And I was wrong. The trip from Tralee to Waterville was spectacular. It was one of the best drives I've ever had on a golf trip ever, and I do a lot of driving for golf trips. One of the things that I'll say that I was surprised at is that this was the narrowest road I've ever actually been on, and it had quite a bit of traffic. So there was a lot of stop and working where people had to take turns to drive, which is very customary in Ireland. Just kind of put your hand up, give a little wave, and keep going. But I will say I went through this great passageway through the mountains where I saw beautiful lakes, great mountainscapes, goats, lots of sheep. You'll always see lots of sheep throughout Ireland. And this trip from Tralee to Waterville took me to the Ring of Kerry, which is this beautiful, beautiful seaside road that wraps around County Kerry as you are on your way to Waterville, which sits at the tip of the Ring of Kerry. On your way through the Ring of Kerry, you'll see beautiful beach coves with families and people having great times. You'll see these beautiful open expanses of the sea, and it's something that as you drive, they have these great areas where you can pull over and actually just take it all in, and they're right there. Please make sure you pull over and just enjoy the beauty that is Ireland. My sixth course for this trip was Waterville. Just a brilliant, beautiful course. Designed by Eddie Hackett and Tom Fazio. You can't go wrong with those two. Eddie Hackett is a golf legend in Ireland, and Tom Fazio has never made a course that wasn't pretty. So his opportunity to touch up and improve on Eddie Hackett's genius results in just a beautiful and great course. The course also happens to have possibly my favorite logo in Ireland. It's probably a toss-up for me between Dooks and their frog, the Natterjack, this really cool rabbit in Waterville, and I love the logo in Donegal. The experience of Waterville was very difficult for me. While I played in some rain earlier at Doonbeg and at Lahinch, I did definitely run into the full Irish wind with a good 4 to possibly 5 club difference in some of my iron shots, and definitely was very brutal on my driver. But what I will say is after I got past the first 5 or 6 holes, I was able to kind of remember I'm on vacation. This is an experience. Stop trying to shoot the lowest score you can and just enjoy yourself. And once I did that, the course became far more playable, far more enjoyable. Waterville is a little closer to sea level, it feels, than some of the other courses. So you have what feels like a very exposed course with a really kind of mid-range dunescape. And it allows for you to see a lot of the course, but also feel a little more isolated. I did feel really exposed, but the wind was really going, so that could just be that factor. The experience is great, the clubhouse is great, and the staff is great. I really did enjoy my time there. I highly recommend it. I can't imagine you not being fully enthralled by this beautiful course. Last but not least, by any measure, is Old Head. Old Head may be my favorite course from this trip. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm really an American and I have a certain appreciation for certain types of golf courses. Old Head is not a traditional links course, and that's why I think sometimes it won't be seen as maybe the best course in Ireland. But its views are the best in Ireland. It is jaw-dropping, it is special, it is unique, and it is something that can't be missed, especially as a tourist in Ireland. The space is enchanting. It's off on a small little peninsula on its own, surrounded by what would be essentially like a thumbprint of just great links on every corner. You feel like you can just fall off the edge of the earth with almost every shot that you have, and the views are second to none. It is possibly going to be in my top 3. It is definitely going to be in my top 5 courses I've ever played. It is designed by a lot of different designers, and you don't feel that on the course. I will say what you do feel is you want to take your camera out on most of the holes. It's not the fastest round you'll play, especially in a place like Ireland, where you get the strong sense that they don't want to have the issue a lot of us Americans have, which is a slow round of golf. People are there to enjoy themselves. It'll play a little bit slower. Enjoy yourself, have a good time, take a lot of pictures. You'll really want to do that. It actually has a working lighthouse on property, which often gives you a great line for beautiful photography. The course plays exceedingly fun. It's a good opportunity to put up a good score. The course is in no way boring or less engaging because it's so beautiful and is so laid out to take in all of these great seaside holes. greens fee is high, but it is worth it. A gentleman told me when I was coming off of 18 that it's Pebble Beach on steroids, and that is about as accurate as you can get for a description of Old Head. It is a strong, strong visual monster that makes you really want to just sit back and enjoy it. I can't imagine a trip to Ireland where I wouldn't try to go replay it, just because it was so much fun and it was so visually compelling. It's an experience I wish for all golfers to have, especially on their trip to Ireland. As you know, I haven't found a course I didn't like in Ireland, and I'm very fortunate that there's so many great courses in Ireland, but Old Head is a definite can't miss. It may not be the most challenging, it may not be the most traditional links, which is probably why you're coming to Ireland, but it is an experience that has to be taken in. one of the best parts of Old Head was it allowed me to finish Ireland on a birdie. The course layout is great. The closing hole at Old Head has this great view of the lighthouse behind you, but in front of you is the clubhouse, and they have a great restaurant with an amazing staff. They did a really great thing by making a great to-go dinner for me on my drive. But you have all of the golfers watching you on 18, cheering you on, making side bets, and to drain a birdie putt for 18 was just a great experience, and the way you want to end Ireland.